So in today's video, we're going to give reply to comments on my TikTok. And this is probably going to be one of my favorite videos because you're going to realize here once I start getting into the comments, just how many people ask the same question. And we have literally built one of the largest resources on the internet to solve all of these problems with giving you the books, the research papers, and an individualized breakdown. So you're going to see that most of the things that we're talking about today are health based, which if you've never been to the website, we talk about the gut testing, we talk about the nutrigenomics testing, we talk about all of the videos that you're going to be able to learn from. There's a dietitian. There's literally everything to solve all of these problems that you're going to see here today. So let's go over to this one that has 1.3 million. All right. So somebody's asking if I had food. No. A lot of them, the comments are going to be on this is about don't eat anything that's pink. So, some people might have taken that the wrong way, and that's okay. So wake up, don't eat, question mark, will you please tell me more? We've thoroughly given an explanation on the wake up, don't eat, let your glycogen deplete. So when you get comments like this, it's rather confusing. I think it means most people don't actually leave TikTok. They just expect, well, my education only comes from TikTok and I'm never leaving TikTok. So how long should you wait before you wake up and eat? I don't know. I'm not your doctor. I'm not your PCP. You should probably talk to somebody smarter than me. But the general rule of thumb that I follow with wake up, don't eat, let your glycogen deplete is I don't exercise until I don't eat until I exercise. So for instance, during the day when you're supposed to be interacting with other human beings, I need to use my brain for interacting with other human beings, not digesting food. So my rule of thumb is wake up, don't eat, let your glycogen deplete, and then exercise and then eat. So just eat after you exercise. I mean, some people exercise in the morning, great, awesome. Whatever you do is what you do. But when I get questions like this, I don't know the answer to that. We thoroughly explained that. Someone says such misinformation. That's definitely a person that hasn't been studying nor testing gut microbiome health, so it's very normal. Someone says I'm rocketing towards death, I'm eating all the candy with vegetable oil. I mean, they can change that if they want. Someone said my dude completely forgot that fruit exists. That's normal over here. This is gonna be one of these ones. Nuts in the economy? Question mark. How the hell do I answer that? And then somebody says this stuff right here. Are you okay? Question mark. Do you have any degrees? What the hell does this even mean anymore? I don't need a fucking degree. I hire other people that have degrees and you can work with them. So in the world that we live in, if you decide to do something, you're going to constantly have a compare and contrast of negative people and positive people. Don't give a shit about the negative people because it's a waste of your time. The positive people are going to not only support your message, but you're going to have the ability to affect them and change their lives. Everybody else just randomly wandering around the universe. So when somebody says, do you have any degrees? What the fuck do I need a degree for? When I have literal people that have degrees that I go to, that I work with, and I make sure, hey, is this accurate? Is this inaccurate? Is this something I can do? Is this something I can't do? So it just doesn't make any sense anymore. That's an old person. It's like, what's your degree? Fucking nothing, bro. Time and experience and actual empirical evidence. So someone says, if I cared about my gut microbiome first, the whole tube yogurt. All right, great. This man never heard of dragon fruit. So the reason I said nothing edible is pink, well, I'll tell you this in the background. Since you watch these videos, you deserve to know how to use energy. When I say nothing edible is pink, I'm talking about sprinkles and Skittles and things like that. But most people will take it for the literal sense. This is where the metacognition comes into play. So when I say nothing edible is pink, the people with the brain that's never going to learn anything, they're going to be like, well, these are pink. This person doesn't know what fruit is. That's good because that is going to farm comments onto a video, which pushes a video out into the ether, which actually allows those people who are serious about their fucking lives to get help. Everybody else, have a good day. So someone says, if I stop eating pink, non-specific reasons, well, that's your food colorings. Somebody says steak, question mark, shrimp, question mark, beets. I don't know how to answer those questions. So somebody's talking about drinking soda over here. That's very normal. Post a video of your meals. So very specifically, once again, this is actually, it looks like in that profile picture right there, a pregnant woman asking a man to post videos of his meals. That is not the right thing to do. I'm not one of those people you should know by now that is going to sit here and tell you what to do. I know what I know and I know what I don't know, and I'm not going to sit here all day and tell you how to do things because you got to believe that those things are true for you to do them anyways. And it's not true to tell a person that you should eat this. We will forever be the company that has scientific evidence on a person prior to actually giving food and recipe ideas because that's the right thing to do. There's free resources that you're more than welcome to take care of. But if you're interacting with anybody from this company, we need to have at least your gut microbiome, your nutrigenomics, or some blood to be able to make sense on the decisions that we have come up with for you to follow. And then it also helps you actually follow those decisions because now you have evidence that says, I'm deficient in this, so I should probably have that. Not, hey, here's some random foods that you're probably going to eat for a few weeks, and then you're going to go back to what you've been doing before. Patient compliance is the hardest thing to deal with. And I think what a lot of people forget in this world is like, we deal with patients, not people. So if you're a person, awesome, sweet, but we like to deal with patients because we have medical services that help people, and it's not the medical world that exists nowadays. That shit's scary. But when someone says post a video of your meals, I don't understand that question. We've thoroughly explained that you should not eat the same as anyone else. Your genetics are individualized based on you. Yes, there's a high likelihood like a walnut is better than a flamin' hot Cheeto, but when somebody says post a video of your meals, what the heck? I can't do that. I'm never going to do that. I'm not going to say eat this. And then someone says this diet is privileged. How is this diet privileged? I come from poverty, uh, pure poverty, garbage. Going to the grocery store, putting a debit card in to buy my food, and then it getting declined because I had -$7 in my bank account. So when I see comments like this, I say, well, clearly they don't want to learn anything. And you'll realize that 1% of people, less than 1% of people are actually going to be interested in changing their life. So when you realize, oh, 1% of the world has all the wealth, yeah, because less than 1% of people are actually going to do what it takes to change the quality of their life. That's some shit that I didn't know. And I realized that I was one of those people that was like the 99% of I'm going to go waste my day. So when I see comments like this, I'm like, awesome. Someone says, reinoculate your gut microbiome. This is meaningless word salad. This comes, let me just show you the people that leave you these types of comments. So meaningless word salad, this person in their profile picture looks extremely unhealthy. They are clearly dealing with issues. That is why they would say something like that, because they want to justify to themselves, and I would justify to myself at one point in time these same things. So I understand where someone comes from when they're like, oh, this is meaningless. No, it's not. It's new cutting edge research that is proving so many points that we thought we only guessed at before to actually be true. So when you see a comment like this, yeah, it sounds great. Have a beautiful day, random person. So then as we keep scrolling on here, I see we got this. I'll just take my probiotics. I mean, you could take probiotics, you can take prebiotics, but recognize that taking them, like you see at the store, doctor approved, whatever. What? How do you know what you need and how do you know what you don't need? So, for instance, are eggs bad? No, not technically. You might need choline. Where are you going to get it from? Either a shit ton of servings of soybeans or a few eggs. But if your gut microbiome's messed up, well, we might not suggest eggs because that's not the right thing to do. Like you can even read the book called The Microbiome Diet. They're going to tell you, yeah, eggs are a little bit harder on your gut microbiome. If your gut microbiome's reinoculated, you're pretty safe consuming those. If your gut microbiome's not reinoculated, you should not be consuming those. So this isn't like a game. This is reality. Like if you're missing nutrients in your body and you fix those missing nutrients, it's like you've become 2.0. Like take the screen cap of where you are right now and then fix a few of those problems, you're double the human you used to be. And you're like, whoa. And then eventually that whoa turns into this is how I normally feel on a daily basis. So when I see stuff like that, I'm like, okay, cool. That's great. I'm glad that they're at least taking them. I mean, they could be doing drugs, but they're not. That's awesome. So when someone says this is nonsense, once again, remember, you got to be aware of the people that are saying it's nonsense. It's like, come on. This person definitely grew up in a different generation than me. They clearly don't understand the information. So there's a case on this. Awesome. You lost me at no more alcohol. That's just a life not I want to lead. So right here, that's okay. I mean, I used to drink every single weekend, so I'm not really, I understand why they say that. Alcohol, if you read the book called Living in the Illusion and the Fear of Truth by Osho, you're going to recognize that a lot of people that consume alcohol, drugs, I did it all. It shifts your consciousness away from the life that you live. So the life, it's a very key indicator that the life that you're living is not worth enough to you. Like this stuff is literally known to kill people. Alcohol literally kills people. Most people, if you look at the cdc.gov on binge drinking, most people on a weekend are considered binge drinkers. So the average in our life, I'm only basing this off of what I used to do, was work a job that pays you shit that you hate. You leave your job, you distract yourself with all this other shit in the world, usually eat garbage because you don't have time to justify to cook for yourself. So you're never, ever, ever re-inoculating your gut microbiome. The belly is the brain. So you're feeding your brain garbage and you're expecting your brain to be able to change itself. Norman D. Hodge, good book. Or Mind Gut Connection, another good book. This is where we are. So we find a way to take ourselves away from our reality. Like, I'm doing something. How can I enhance this experience? Oh, I'll just drink, or oh, I'll just smoke weed. Like, I did all of these things, and I never recognized I did them until I realized I was creating this illusion because I feared the truth that I could do more with my life. Anybody can do more. I'm just a beacon of hope to say, hey, you want to do what you love, because no one's going to stop you. And the people that think they can stop you, it's like, what? Like, spend your time, generate energy, create your space. But that energy generation, that's called mass. You got a big enough mass object, you can't stop that stuff. It's like trying to stop a piece of paper blowing in the wind versus a 18-wheel truck going down a big ass hill with no brakes. You can't stop that one. I probably wouldn't even want to stand in the way of the other one. You're gonna get run over. So when someone says they don't want alcohol anymore, I get that. I used to be addicted to drinking too and going out and distracting myself, because sometimes if you don't know what you love, you're going to go do things that you don't love. Like, it's very important to protect your energy and recognize, like, you are where you are, the friends that you have, the places that you are because of what you know. So the anxiety documents on the mindset page, that'll help you to either contract the quality of your life or expand the quality of your life. I used to contract in every way, shape, and form. Opportunity? Nope, can't do that. Not me. Too much anxiety. I'm just an idiot loser that has no money. Like, that's where I was in my life. And then you recognize, like, quitting drinking removes the people that all they do every weekend is drink. And you're like, wow, dang, that's why we were friends, because we both hated our jobs. We both had the same life and we both did the same things. And then when you start to change the quality of your life, you'll recognize that the friends that you have, they're just people who exist on the same frequency. They see the same world as you. Therefore, you guys become friends. Like, could you imagine? Like, could you just take for instance here? Could you imagine if I was sitting next to somebody that was like eating Cheetos, drinking soda, drinking a beer, and doing drugs? I don't think I'd be able to ever be able to be friends with that person. I wouldn't even want to, at the point where I'm at in my life, to be like, yeah, man, like, here, go do all this stuff. I'd hand him a card and be like, hey, man, if you're ever thinking about changing the way that you live your life, check this stuff out. I hope you have a beautiful day, because that's protecting your energy. It's not being a bad human for not individually serving everybody who says, serve me. Like, I had a person book a call and they were like, I was like, did you review the information on the website? They said, no, I don't have time. I want you to explain it to me. And I said, thank you so much for your interest in the homeostasis diet. Based on this conversation, I do not believe that I should be taking this phone call, and then canceled it and deleted their number. I'm not putting my energy into a place where somebody's going to try to disrespect me. And once you learn to protect your own energy, you'll never let anybody disrespect you. So once you stand up for yourself, that's all I can take away from this. So when a person's drinking alcohol, that's great. They have maybe never learned to stand up for themselves. So they've been influenced into a lifestyle that takes them away from the life that they're living because they don't love it. Boom. Bro said adults shouldn't eat candy. Everything you said after this, yeah, adults shouldn't eat candy. Candy's not real. Candy is literal oil and sugar garbage. Like, it is proven it's garbage. Kids eat it. It's such a bad item. It's just, it tastes sweet. It's colorful. Human beings evolutionarily like colors. Colors mean nutrient density. That's why these candies are so colorful. Like, taste the rainbow. Taste ADHD, taste anxiety, taste possibly disrupting your gut microbiome, taste lower neurogenesis, taste decreased neuronal plasticity, taste what mental illness is like. Like, that's the stuff that blows my mind, because I used to eat sour Skittles, wild berry Skittles. I would take the entire bag of sour Skittles and just dump it in my mouth and go the whole time. But you know what? I had no information to know that that was the wrong thing to do, so I did it. Like, how do you know what you actually know until you go out and read maybe 50, 500, 1,000 books on a specific topic, and then you're like, whoa, I'm fucking lost and I don't know how to find anything. But that is what I used to do. So when I see comments like this, it's like, oh yeah, I remember eating candy all the time. This man never ate a strawberry. Well, strawberries aren't pink, strawberries are red. So, that's that pink thing. That's where the metacognition of speaking into something, not in a literal sense, like hey, if you take this literally, you're probably going to completely miss everything that's going on here. So, why even ask a doctor? Because some doctors are actually good and some doctors are not good. If you're looking at an older doctor, you would check out the book called An End to Illness. That's a good book that helps you understand some tests that you can ask for to prevent yourself from dying in the future, because most of them are not going to do preventative medicine. There is no like preventative medicine push in the world. It's like, hey, you feeling sick? Well, here's a pill that can solve that problem. Don't listen to all of these super fast over here. They're going to have a heart disease, blah, 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 blah. And then you're like, what is all that other stuff? Could you imagine if food had like that label on here, like if consuming this food wrong could lead to these problems? No one would eat it. That's why they don't do it. And then a fun conspiracy on this is like, okay, why can't we test these on humans, but we can test them on rats? Like, why aren't we doing human studies on these foods yet? Right? It doesn't really make sense. We can test it on rats. They're getting tumors. They're falling apart. They're dying. They're having problems. They're getting obese. They're having all of the metabolic syndrome issues. But for some reason, we can't test these on humans. So I make the joke where it's like, oh, pff, how do they fund their research better than just putting it in the grocery store and feeding it to humans? And then, well, they're having the same problems too, but it's okay. Don't stop eating your ice cream. Come to the doctor's office. We're going to give you some metformin and insulin, and you can go become more of a type 2 diabetic and be 50% more likely to develop dementia because your belly's too big, so your hippocampus is shrinking and the visceral belly fat is causing an inflammatory cytokine storm in your body where you're gonna realize it later. That's the only stuff that I can really say to anybody is that I talked to a person that's 63 years old. They used to be like 270 pounds or something. Now I think they weigh like 185. And then he said, Josh, I feel better now than I did when I was 30. And I'm 32. And I'm like, damn, okay, that shit hits home. Like, I'm going to be healthy as long as I possibly can. Because I can only imagine. And anybody that has been unhealthy that is now healthy understands. Like, I ate pure garbage on a daily basis. First time I had a salad, after I ate, I said, whoa, like, I feel happy. I feel some energy versus I'm eating and then I'm like, oh my god, I feel bloated and sick and slow and terrible, and I'm getting a headache and a stomach ache. Like that's reality. Those are the living in the illusion and the fear of truths. Like the truth is that if you don't eat healthy, you're insane. You might not. You people live off of McDonald's, beer, cigarettes, and candy. That's a reality when they're younger. But then they get older and they're like, oh my god, I'm having all these health problems. Like, don't have a health crisis before you decide to eat healthy. Like that's my only advice there. So then, as we keep scrolling on here, someone says, I love this information, but I hate that so many of these videos don't address the issue of price. We have literally addressed the issue of price with our program. This is the shit that I don't get. Everybody wants to say that I can't do that. We exist in a world where you can do anything. You have access to a square box that lets you solve all of your problems. How the fuck do problems still exist? Like, that's a legitimate question. I am convinced, based on the life that I used to live, that the only reason that people want to have problems is because those problems are actually better than the solution. Where it's like, oh, anxiety. Yeah, it's nice to like say that I have anxiety and then not go do things because I'm just scared to go do them. Contracting and expanding with anxiety. So this person says, oh, it doesn't address price. One of my biggest pet peeves is a nutrition student. Go work on the internet, make tens of thousands of dollars like everybody else, and then stop complaining about the problem that doesn't actually exist. Like, I used to make $420 a week. I used to go to the grocery store to buy food, and my debit card would be rejected. Now I don't even look at my bank account. I just go do the things that I want to do. I live a very normal life. I'm never going to do all that fancy crazy shit like everybody else because it's not what drives me. Like that's not where my happiness comes from. My happiness comes from being able to leave this at home, go into the woods and sit down and listen to the water run for an hour. That's the peak of my happiness. So understanding this, and then someone says misinformation. I don't understand. So pink apples, great. Remember that pink apples thing. Someone says, as a dietitian, I'm here to say that you can consume candy. Balance is key. Like this is the problem in our world. We want this like, oh, yeah, you can do whatever you want. It's gonna be okay. Like, why would any sane human want to eat candy? It's nutritional garbage. And then you have somebody that says, as a dietitian, I went to college and barely learned anything, like legitimately. Like, you go to school, you're going to learn something that everybody else knows. So, like, when you read a book from somebody who's been studying something for 20 years, going around the world, sourcing all of their fucking research, you read one of those books and you're like, whoa. You get somebody that went to college and they're like, I have a degree, I know better. And it's like, well, I know you know a lot more than the average person, but like, how many years have you been individually testing and studying your own research, gathering empirical evidence? For us, it's been a year and a half right now. And it'll be 10 years in the future, 20, 30, 40, 50, and I'm excited for all of that. But when somebody says something like this video just sent me down a disordered eating spiral, people are already eating in disorder. So at least now they can realize when they grab that candy bar off the shelf and think, I'm hungry, eat food, aka Snickers. You hungry? Eat a Snickers. Yeah. You hypoglycemic? Probably consume something else. Maybe consume some more fiber so your blood sugar's not running a mess. Like, those are the realities. I used to eat all the garbage. So when I see a dietitian supporting the fact that people should eat candy, I say, more power to my purpose, because the whole anything in moderation, yeah, how about, like, some healthy food in moderation? Like, eat too many avocados, that's not good, is it? You tell me. Go get a blood test from your doctor and find out what your potassium levels are. And if they come back and say, your potassium is amazing, what do you do? And you're like, oh, I was eating 2 avocados a day for a while just to see if that would actually change the way that I live my life. There's a lot of information out there, and there's a lot of people that are going to tell you the opposite of what's true. Remember, the people that are there to tell you what you're doing is the right thing to do are probably not the people that you should be around, because I prefer to be invalidated on a daily basis. I enjoy it. I love knowing that I am wrong. And if somebody can prove that I am wrong, that I am willing to immediately change. Because if I'm missing information, I'm going to get older and I'm going to go to the worst place, which means if you read the documents on the mindset page, the right words take you to the right place and the wrong words take you to the wrong place. And you're the one that is listening to them. So just remember, what energy are you absorbing from what you're learning right now? Is it something that takes you to a better place or a worse place? Only you know. So when someone says you're a genius, no, I'm just doing some stuff. All right, what about meat? All depends on genetics. A lot of people push these diets. You got to realize, if a person was used to consuming candy, chips, potatoes, all of this other stuff, they're running on a sugar molecule, which 4 calories for every 1 carbohydrate, 4 calories for every 1 gram of sugar. When a person switches over to like a ketogenic diet, their mitochondria, which is the powerhouse of like every cell in your body, is running on 2.1 times its energy source. So this is why when a lot of people decide to fast, they're like, whoa, holy shit, I'm like, whoa, which could be addicting for a lot of people. And if you have an addictive personality, you're literally going to lose a shit ton of weight and you're going to continue to fast, because you will feel the metabolic switching, which is intermetabolic switching. You will feel that switch in process from running on carbohydrates to running on ketones. You're just like, woo. And you're going to think more clearly. Everything is going to change. It's called intermetabolic switching. We'll link a video down below here if you want to read that research paper. It's pretty interesting. It's really important for your brain to be able to run on sugars, run on fats. There's good use for both of them. I can tell you for a fact that if you do the Wim Hof method, whenever I was getting into the Wim Hof method, I fasted for 3 days and I went out and did the Wim Hof method, and it was kind of weird. So it does talk about burning more glucose. So like it does increase your not your metabolism, your energy expenditure. So like doing the Wim Hof method fasted versus doing the Wim Hof method fed, very interesting, because I was shivering. I was like, wait a minute. I was like, what's the only difference here? I was like, okay, I fasted for 3 days and I'm cold. Why am I not warming up? Fun stuff. So someone says most people quit on step one. Absolutely true. Most people on TikTok do not actually go learn about what the creators create. Like, it's just one video to the next video. And this goes into the dopamine, right? Our like reason for doing things. Time flies when you're having fun, or time flies when you're a piece of shit. But time flies when you're having fun, because dopamine actually removes your subjective sense of time. Time is slow when your dopamine is low. So when a person is working at a job that they absolutely hate, like, think about it this way. It's a Friday afternoon and all you're thinking about is going to do something fun. You're not doing anything fun right now and you're like, man, today's taken forever. Yeah, because you're not really happy with what you do. So be very careful about dopamine, because it's a little bit of a trap. You know how long people scroll around these apps? Way too long. And that's dopamine. Just removes your subjective sense of time. And where did time go? I don't know. You tell me. So boom, what's going on here? We got this. So someone says veggies, avocados. Boom, awesome breakfast. You're no fun. Oh, I'm tons of fun. You just don't believe I'm fun because I'm telling you all the foods that you eat for your happiness are trash garbage. Don't eat the trash. Or, be trash. Like, you are what you eat. So let's eat trash. I did it for a long time and I believed I was trash. I never had salmon, question mark. Well, yeah, there's a little bit of debate on that one. So everyone's here talking about dragon fruit. RX bars are the best. Debatable. Scrolling on, someone says, dude literally said just stop going to the store. No, I don't understand how people take that away. All right, so this is an interesting video. But yeah, mock up in these comments where everyone says, but what do you eat? So everyone's either asking me what I eat, which is totally not relevant to absolutely anyone unless you have the exact same genetics as me, which is probably impossible. I mean, shit, look, we got rotator cuff surgery going on right here. There are literal genetics that talk about an increased risk to injure your rotator cuff. And I'd say 70% of the people that have actually had that gene expression, who are like avid people that work out, have had rotator cuff surgery. I literally remember somebody saying, dude, stop lifting upper body every day. You're going to hurt your shoulder. Guess who didn't listen? Me. Guess who hurt their shoulder? Me. Sucky, shitty surgery. Especially if you drive a stick and then you're like, I can't move my arm. All right, so we got this one right here. This was during a blizzard that we had, so the grocery store was completely wiped out. And a beautiful thing about going to the grocery store late at night is you can actually see on the pallets what people are buying. So you can tell, like, oh, this is all these main brand ingredients that are just doo-doo crap. So on videos like these, someone's always going to say the same thing. They're going to talk about it's expensive. They say, what the F? I can't remember all of this. Well, you can. You just got to go learn. And these are new comments like 18 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago. So you can't walk down the laundry aisle anymore. They get a headache. Someone says, teach me, please. I say, did you go to the bio? Like, the biggest thing that confuses me about this world, and I was this person, I would watch a video and then I would say, well, that must be nice, or wow, that person must have some sort of special skill. No, not at all. Like, I'm dumb as shit. And if I can learn this, you can learn this. If I can go from being super poor and not having money to not worrying about it, you can do it too. If I can go from eating garbage to not eating garbage, you can do it too. If I can go from literally sleeping in bed all day on a weekend and the only reason I'd get out of bed is so I didn't piss the bed, you can live your dream life too. Like, trust me on that one. The weekend to the weekdays is just a blur for me because every single day I do what I love, and I want you to find that passion in your life. And you can find that by simply going and starting reading. Go spend all next year, read, learn and earn the life that you want to live. Or be convinced that whatever the circumstances are that you live within, or the circumstances that you have to live within, you're free. No one's stopping you. But you know, the worst thing is that you're stopping yourself. Nobody else around you is going to stop you. The only thing that stands in your way is the way. So what's the way? Well, get out of my own fucking way. So someone says, make me wonder these foods cause disabilities in pregnant women. Biggest thing about pregnancies, if you decide to reproduce, learn about your telomeres. So read the telomere effect book. Really recognize that, like, if the genes that are expressed in you don't want those passed down to your child, like, if this runs in your family, why would humanity not say, okay, if this issue runs in my family, what can I do to alter my gene expressions, my epigenetics? How can I actually change that so when I decide to have offspring, that child can have a better chance of survival? It's extremely important. So, like, do these foods cause problems? I don't know. Listen to somebody else tell you that they do, and listen to somebody else tell you that they don't, and then you decide. Because a lot of things you will find out there, they're inconclusive research, they're we need more studies to find the answers. They have to say that stuff. But if you check out the reverse engineer of the hidden mechanics of depression, I followed that shit in and out for 2 years. So here's a research paper that tells you this is what's causing depression and anxiety. Are you actually going to follow it and find out? Like, wake up, eat ice cream for breakfast versus wake up, don't eat, let your glycogen deplete. Been there, done that stuff. That's why I'm so passionate about what I teach, because I literally would wake up, eat ice cream, eat Doritos, smoke weed, play video games all day, and just continue to pile at least 3 to 4,000 calories of garbage into my body, and then do that for a few weeks and see how hard it was to even wake up and get out of bed. And then immediate, snap your fingers, flip over, start your fasting, start introducing all of the nutrients back into your body, eat your healthier foods, reinoculate your gut microbiome, start exercise, doing the yoga, listening to the affirmations, really living a human life. Like, you can't avoid certain things in reality. Like, you have to do them. You're a human. They need to be done. Like, you can't not exercise. Like, that is bad. Like, you need to exercise. Like, don't exercise for a few weeks. If you exercise, like, think about the people that exercise every single day. Like, those are usually people, there's genes for it, by the way. Like, there's a reason why one person's motivated to exercise and another person's not motivated to exercise. There are genetics behind this. So some people have to work harder than others. That is just the cards that you were given. It's not, I should magically feel motivated. Like, no, there's a reason why one person goes to the gym and looks like a fucking buff ass gym bro, And the other person's doing the same thing, and they're like, but wait, what's wrong? Why don't I look like that? Jeans. Stop trying to put everyone's pants on. If the jeans fit, wear them. Your jeans don't fit, so don't wear that lifestyle. It's not going to work the way that you think it's going to work. There's even jeans with like eating. Some people would live a better life eating more often than others. Some people don't. You'll find out with your gene expressions. That's how it works. So whenever this comes into play, yeah, absolutely. Like, will your genes and your eating and your lifestyle express a different version of your life? Fuck yeah, it will. Like, I've literally been testing out not going to the gym, and I was like, whoa, poof, I'm starting to feel really terrible. And then you recognize that, okay, the gym is a staple. You must exercise. If you don't, you're insane. You're insane, crazy in the mind if you don't exercise. So moving on, someone says, cleaner, lint, bro here, maybe 50 to 60 years, I'm living life. Yeah, that's great. If you're here for 50 to 60 years, that's a really fucking long time to like get headaches and stomach aches and not wake up tomorrow and be super fucking motivated to live your dream life. Like, what the fuck? I used to wake up and hate my life. I used to wake up 15 to 10 minutes before I had to be to work. I would sleep in my clothes and I would just run to work. And then I would go mindlessly work a job that I hated that was just like a, hamster on a wheel. This was me, and it's not a bad thing. I honestly miss working those types of jobs because my interaction with people on a daily basis is where my happiness came from. And then when you transition to like working on the internet, doing more remote type stuff, selling things where you're not interacting with people, it changes everything. So you can be happy either way. You don't have to make millions of dollars to be happy. You just need to be happy. And how can I say that? Read the book called Flow, and then read Habits of a Happy Brain. So someone says, America, stop being this, boobity bobbity boobity bop. And someone's over here. So and I always think about how when I came back from traveling to this place, everything made my stomach hurt. Yeah, this is so true. 100%. Like basic training for people, they always eat healthy foods. And then after they go back to like, oh my God, I need fast food. Everybody gets sick because you're not supposed to be consuming those. I never understood why food companies were like, nah, let's use this instead of, yeah. It's just how it works. Like if you can get sugar that if you can get something that is 9 times as sweet as sugar and takes 9 times as less amount, you save 9 times the amount of money. So when you look at these large corporations, every single one of them has cut corners and put cheaper ingredients in their foods. Because you literally can recognize, like Justin's peanut butter, right? If you like peanut butter and you have to eat peanut butter, you'll recognize that Jif peanut butter takes over the whole fucking shelf. They bought from bottom to top. Real estate space equal corners cut. When you go to like Justin's peanut butter, that's one ingredient, has oil floating on top. It's not hydrogenated shit garbage. So you recognize, okay, these large corporations really do own the entire shelf. Let's look at the ingredients in their food. Oh, these are all shit garbage. It's literal galactic sludge, gelatinous sludge, whatever you want to call it. Once you can start to identify that, you start to recognize, okay, maybe I shouldn't eat, when Oreos, maybe I shouldn't eat the entire row of Oreos, dip it into my milk, and just. That's what I used to do. And then how you feel after that, not too great. Unless you're just so far gone that you don't even recognize how bad you feel anymore when you consume those foods. Someone says, what are best alternatives? That's why we created an entire website filled with books, research, videos, everything. I know people are going to doubt me, and I raise them doubting me. Go doubt me all you want. Go read all the books. Go read all the research. And if we're not on the same page, I hope you build another company and you teach people how to be on a better page than the one that we're creating for you. Like, so when someone says better alternatives, I don't get those questions. I don't understand them. We've literally given you the books to read if you don't want to buy our Reset Button program and learn from a dietitian, learn how to grow your own food. If you're watching this as of 12/28/2022, our newest coach in the Reset Button program is somebody that's going to teach you how to grow your own food, microgreens. So now you don't even have to work on the internet. And the trifecta here was going to be able to work with restaurants using the QR codes, run their advertisements for giveaways, and then imagine being able to also supply them microgreens for their foods. So it is absolutely amazing to find all these people and then be able to put these puzzle pieces together. I don't know how I'm here, but I'm here, and we're going to continue to grow and learn more. But when somebody asks better alternatives, yeah, have a conversation with a person, not just comment on a TikTok video where there's 3,000 comments. There's no way that I can address any of these individually. But then, you'll realize right here. So what you're telling me is nothing is edible? No, not the fuck at all. Why would I ever say that? I'm saying, like, look at your ingredients in your foods, look at your dietary fiber to carbohydrate ratios, and then find out if it takes over the whole shelf. And if it does, you should probably consider, not picking it up off the shelf. So, boom, can't look at the grocery store anymore. Hell yeah. Come to Germany. Yeah, I know those countries have a lot better food. Thoughts on Red Bull and energy drinks? Totally useless 99% of the time. If you have genetics for your caffeine metabolism, you should probably be avoiding those. And I remember when fasting first became a thing, this is still when I was learning, and I was afraid to speak up. But I started to recognize, I was like, oh my God, I was like, this isn't true at all. You got this bodybuilder dude over here that's 100% on steroids. Everybody knows it. And he's like, yeah, on my days whenever I fast, which, bro, you don't fast. Like, it's a trend. I remember when that trend began, and I remember being the person that was reading and researching it avidly for a few years prior to becoming a massive trend. And then I said, okay, this person's telling people to drink 0-calorie Red Bull. Why? Like, that's not how fasting works. It's not, oh, it has no calories in it. Drink this Red Bull. No, no. Don't drink it at all. It's garbage. So then as we continue to move on, bro, shaming people without tissues, with the use of tissues? No. Like, there's a very clear understanding. Go eat spicy food. Go eat food that has inflammatory oils in it. And I bet you do this. That phlegm in your throat? Yeah, that's not normal. You shouldn't have mucus production in your throat after you just ate food. So I challenge you to go look into why you get a mucus production when you consume food. So eat a nice healthy salad, eat something that you're supposed to eat, and then find out if you get a mucus production from it. And then notice when you do and when you don't. I can tell you to go to some fast food places, eat their food, and then you get that nice hack phlegm. You're like, oh, fuck, poof. I don't know how you spit, but fuck, poof. I assume people spit like that. But that's what happens. Why does it happen? Those are the questions that once you find the answers to it, you say, well, shit. You'll probably keep doing it. If you're like me, it took me 9 months to stop eating Flaming Hot Cheetos. I would literally be walking to the store being like, why the fuck am I doing this? Why am I doing this? But I couldn't break the habit, so I still did it anyways. That's how it works. You want to change your life? It is not easy. If you are older, it is not easy. They will say in books, I can't remember which one these are from. It's like the cognitive behavioral therapy books, maybe Bruce Lipton type stuff, but a traumatic experience. Like, the reason people change is because like a traumatic experience happened that allowed them to change. Like, when you realize, oh my God, I'm going to die if I keep doing this, then maybe you'll change. I have talked to plastic surgeons before, and they're like, yeah, we're just chopping people's legs off. Hey, John, you better stop eating all and drinking all that stuff, or we're going to have to take your leg. He's like, a couple months later, John's back and we're taking his leg off. And I said, wow. But you now have access to information that helps you avoid getting your legs cut off. Raise you one on that one. So as I scroll through these, most of the time, like the most revolving comments that happen on my TikTok are, what do I eat? I don't know. I don't have your gene. I don't have your gut microbiome. I don't have your blood. I can't tell you what to eat at all. No clue what you need at all. And anybody that's out there telling people what to eat, that shit's going to change. Once we realize that we have information that we can use to improve the quality of our lives accurately the first time around without having to guess anymore. Like, you're going to consume food for the rest of your life. Why would you not want to just know? You never have to guess ever again. Why not? And I used to be the person that guessed everything. I was like, those look good. Oh, flaming hot lime. Oh, yummy. You learn and you earn the life that you want to live. So we live in a world where we have access to all of the information in the world. And I will be a person that stands up every single day that says, hey, get a test and find out what you need, because then you know what you need. So when you go to the grocery store, it's not overwhelming. You're like, okay, I need this, 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 and this. And every single time I go to the grocery store, I probably buy the same things. There might be a different thing of the same value that I can choose between, but now you know what you need. Like, you're a human. Why would you not want to know what you need? Like, we need things. The right words take us to the right place, the wrong words take us to the wrong place. The right foods take you to the right place. The wrong foods take you to like this really scary dark place. So when somebody says, can't afford to feed my family the healthiest foods, yes, you can. You can afford to feed your family the healthiest foods. You 100% can. People just believe that they can't. And belief is one of the most powerful things in the universe. It drives everything that a person does. A person believes that they should do this. That is why they do this. A person believes that they can't make more money than they make now. That's why they make the amount of money that they make. It's all based on belief. I truly believed that on a weekend, all I should do is spend all of my money on ice cream, chips, candy, garbage, and energy drinks and drugs. That is what I believed, and that is what I did. I had nobody there to say, hey, yeah, what's up? All that shit's garbage. It's fucking up your life and probably killing you. And even if somebody did that back in the day, I'd say, oh, okay. And then I would go back to playing video games and just living my life. So change takes time. You will eventually want to change. Everybody always eventually wants to change something about their life. It doesn't matter what it is. Even if it's the color of your nail polish, there's a reason that you wanted to change that. And it's that belief that you should change it. It's the belief that leads you to what you want. And if you want something, you have to believe in it or you're not going to do it. So I'm going to leave you with this. With all these TikToks, everyone usually says the same thing. I can't afford it. I don't know what to do, or tell me what to eat. We've told you what to eat. We've given you the books. We've given you the research. I'm never going to tell a person how to eat their own food. And when somebody says that they can't afford it, sorry. I used to be poor as shit and homeless at one point in time. So if I can do this, so can everybody else. I started with way bad information that led me into a financial pit, an emotional pit, an intellectual pit, a spiritual pit, every possible pit that you could think. I was sitting there with the shovel being like, let me dig my own hole. Yay. Oh, I'm running out of money. Okay, I'm going to still buy drugs. My phone bills due. Oh, fuck that. I need this. I did that every day. So remember, the space you're in is equal to the energy you have, which explains the mass in the universe. It can only be positive, negative, or neutral. So you're going to recognize in your own life the things that do not serve you anymore. And when you decide to change those, when you decide to love yourself and serve yourself, then and only then will you actually be able to serve others properly. Because for years, I wanted to speak up about the grocery stores, but I didn't because I realized and I had my traumas as a child. So even though I knew, I still thought I was dumb and stupid. So I was afraid to talk. And many people live in that illusion and they fear the truth. So I'm going to give you 3 books that you should definitely check out. And these may or may not change your life. They're extremely eye opening for me because I didn't recognize the conversations that I was having with myself on a daily basis were the thoughts that I was taught to think, and those fucking thoughts didn't work. So, Children of Emotionally Immature Parents. This is by Lindsay C. Gibson. This is going to teach you if you're an internalizer or an externalizer. You could have come to me 7 years ago and said, here's your problems, here's your solutions. And I would have said, I'm going to keep my problems, thanks. Living in the Illusion and the Fear of Truth by Osho. This is literally going to teach you the illusions that we create for ourselves to live in because we fear the truth. Like, it is scary doing some things you've never done before, but you gotta fail forward. And it's not fake it till you make it, it's believe it till you achieve it. Like, I convinced myself into being healthier through reading and reading and reading and reading and reading and getting invalidated on a daily basis. So my illusions were very real. They were reality. And then when you look back at yourself, you say, whoa, I was lost. So if you're lost now, how lost are you going to be in 10 years, even if you think you're not lost? Then the last book is The Untethered Soul by Michael A. Singer. This is a good book that teaches you about the voice inside of your head. The mindset page is going to quantify that book with the voice inside of your head. And it's going to talk about the thoughts that you were taught to think. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed, only converted from one form into another. So think about anxiety, something that scares somebody. There's a person that I try to tell every single day, start your TikTok, start teaching people stuff. They're scared about the person that lives down the street. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you need anything, there's going to be links down below this video. You know where to find me. I show up on my TikTok almost every single day. I will be live majority until 2023, about the end of 2023. I'm going to start transitioning the way that I'm doing my life just because the results that we've gotten from people who have worked with us are amazing. Just to think, I used to struggle with money and now I teach people how to make 6 figures. That's crazy stuff that you can do too. You just got to put in the work. Don't ever underestimate hard work. Don't ever let somebody tell you that you're working too hard. I literally went on a date with a person and they said, yeah, don't you think you're a little bit delusional working that much? It hurt me. I went to my mentor and I said, this person said that I was delusional because all I do is work all day, but I love what I do. And he said, nope, continue doing you. You're doing a great job. So I said, okay, cool. You can do anything you want to do. That's my only point. Please don't be one of these people that wander around TikTok and just leave comments and act like there's no answer to your question. There's so many answers to your question. There's so many answers that it's hard to find the true answer. But you know where you're going to find the true answer? Here and here, because it's going to feel right. And at first, if you do think everything based on feelings, it's a little sucky. So check out "Living in the Illusion of the Fear of Truth" by Osho, Children of Emotionally Immature Parents, and "The Untethered Soul" by Michael A. Singer. And I'll see you in the next video. So you can click the bells or subscribe buttons on here. I'm not one of those people that are going to ask for anything from you. Maybe that's a problem of mine, not asking for too much. But check out the information on here. Enjoy the website. And I will see you in the next video.